DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Monster Energy, Esport Management, and GGBet.
Welcome back to the DreamHack Open, coming to you live from Tour France. And we are halfway through the day, guys. We've had a few shockers just before the break. A match we thought would be super close wasn't. Mirage, Valiance versus Wendigo. That is the setup for a brawl, and we didn't see one. And it was pretty much thanks to one man, Le Hunter.
Le Hunter. It was indeed something. Le Hunter. That sounds terrible.
I like it.
You gotta put some soul into it. Le Hunter.
Yeah.
Put some effort into it, Black.
Yeah, honestly, honestly. We brought him all the way to France for this.
I'm just gonna put an effort in the games, not the names.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, I mean that game should have been at least on paper the closest game we've had so far. But yeah, just a blowout. I thought that G2 game would probably go that way. Instead, it's Counter-Strike things.
Definitely Counter-Strike things. And another less Counter-Strike thing and more of just a massive shame is that Ghost are a player down. We have not got Freakazoid joining us here this weekend. And with that in mind, this matchup, Avangar, the reigning champions of the most recent DreamHack Open in Rio, versus a team that isn't even complete, Potter.
Yeah, it's really quite unfortunate. We spoke about this earlier, but Ghost was a team, and you know, still is. I'll remain positive here. They're still a team that remains pretty hopeful in this group and in this entire tournament. They've had some really great showings at EPL and online and in these qualifiers. They just barely lost to Furia in the Cologne qualifier in the finals, 2-3 in that BO5, and so they've had some really promising showings and results. And this was the tournament that I was very looking forward to for this lineup. Unfortunately, though, Freakazoid is not here. But you know what? James is their coach, and these guys have been playing together actually in a lot of qualifiers, a lot of online matches. It seems like they're very often missing their fifth, and James is having to fill in. And you know, he does pretty well actually.
He does. I kind of feel sad for them because I remember seeing them in Tour last year where they were talked, and there was Steel and James, and they had a very rough showing last time. And this time around, you're like, you know, Ghost, they're kind of on the rise. They have had some pretty decent results online as well as offline, and this would probably be the event where they finally turn things around. You know, it would be kind of fitting, but yeah, the Freakazoid situation, unfortunate.
Should we talk about maps and what we're expecting to see?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to the maps, this is the unfortunate thing for Ghost, is the fact that their best maps are the maps that they're very comfortable playing on. Although I know they have a very deep map pool, but obviously there are a few maps that you have a better record on and you know you're more comfortable on. Are the maps that Avangar usually bans out, right? So you're not going to have the opportunity to play a nuke or an overpass or even probably try to throw a curveball and throw in a vertigo because Avangar's going to ban that out. So I think it's just going to come down to either Train or Inferno. I think it could be Train because Ghost might be feeling like they can pull off something crazy there. But the problem with Train is your CD side when you're having a stand-in playing, it's especially your T side in Train. You know, if you don't have your entry frag or your main guy going in and gathering information and opening up sites, it's going to be hard.
It's definitely going to be hard, but you know, Ghost Train has always been looking good. I really hope it doesn't go to Inferno, actually. I hope it does go to Train. I think that would be a pretty good map for Ghost.
It's a band, huh?
Oh,
okay.
No. Wow, okay, Ghost banned it.
They do not want to face Jame on that map, let me tell you.
Yeah, Nuke's going to get banned out by Avangar. I don't think they're going to try anything crazy here. Nuke's going to get banned by Avangar. They're going to ban out Vertigo. I'm quite sure about it. And I think they might take out Overpass as well. Oh, it's a Ghost going to ban Vertigo. Okay, that's going to do.
They used to veto Cash, so.
So that's huge for Avangar now. Now they have an extra ban to ban whatever they want to ban and make things very uncomfortable for Ghost. And I'm saying it. I think Inferno might really come through here.
You know, that's really quite surprising because I know James does a lot of prep work for these guys, and so I'm sure that he's very much aware that Avangar don't play Nuke, so it's, or Vertigo, or Nuke rather, and so it's strange that it was banned.
Okay, Dust 2 coming out. That's a little surprising for me, the fact that Avangar allowed Dust 2 instead of playing Inferno on it. I think Inferno is a map that they'd feel more confident on against Ghost. But then that's taking the picture of what you just mentioned right now, Potter, is the fact that Ghosts aren't very comfortable in Inferno, right? So I think they're just looking to play to their strengths. And let's be honest, Jamie with that AWP on Dust 2 can be a pain in the butt.
He definitely can be, but looking back to Rio, actually, Avangar, they didn't look very strong on Dust 2. From my memory, they didn't look very strong, and even speaking to them, they said that they used to play Dust 2 a lot, and they used to be very comfortable on that map, but lately, for the past few months, they haven't touched it, and they don't feel very comfortable on that map. So I think this bodes well for Ghost, even though they're missing their 5th.
Well, I'm curious to know who they've been playing Dust 2 against, so I'm going to take a look at that. But while I do, Blair, you got 3 reasons for us.
I always do. 3 reasons why. 3 reasons why Avangar is going to win this well pretty convincingly, one would say. The first point would, of course, be the fact that we have the Freakazoid situation, where Freakazoid, unfortunately, due to passport issues, is not here with us. So it's going to be a coach standing in for Ghost. That's never going to be a good factor for them. Reason number 2 is Jamie. Jamie, however you want to pronounce his name. This guy is a god. In-game leader, AWPer, just all around a beast in the server. He's going to be instrumental as well in this particular, well, I would assume is going to be a win for Avangar. And the third reason is, like I mentioned, the map pool, because of the fact that the best maps of Ghost are the maps that Avangar bans out, leading to a map like Dust 2, where even though both the teams might be comfortable on it, you will have to give the edge to Avangar.
Interesting. And just to update you on the Dust 2 situation, they seem to like playing it against the IS teams. They're very comfortable when they're in their home region. So they recently won it against Hellraisers in the One Cologne qualifiers. Obviously, that's online. Healthy 16-1 win on that. And Hellraisers, again, basically every time they meet Angel and Crew, they just want to play Dust 2 against them because it's probably a lot of fun. And also Dream Eaters as well, who are a CIS unit, but not playing it so well against Optics.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? It depends on what sort of opponent you have on Dust 2, because what I've seen from Avangar is their CD side on Dust 2 is, I wouldn't say too static, but you kind of have an understanding of how they like playing it. It's the usual defaults, usually 3-2 or maybe a 2-1-2, but with Jamie trying to float around towards A long, A short area, maybe at mid once in a while. So it's if you're facing off against a team who have their T side figured out and who know how to counter their CD side, it's not that hard to throw in a curveball and make things uncomfortable for Avangar on their CD side. It's a T side where they really shine on, and they are so volatile, and they just like do so many crazy things on the T side, which basically wins them these games most of the times.
Definitely, but I gotta say, on the other side of things, again, I'm remaining as positive as I can for
Don't
Ghost.
be an NA fanboy. Do not be an NA fanboy.
No,
I'm trying to look at the positive side of things, and I truly, a part of me believes that this could bode well positively for Ghost. You know, these players are young. Neptune, he's 16 years old. He just turned 16, and you know, he's been a player that's been in the talks in the NA scene for quite some time as a young up-and-comer, and he has been a little bit more quiet, specifically on LAN. And so these kinds of tournaments, now the pressure's off. You know, you can blame the fact that his 5th isn't here, you know. So I think if he's able to harness the no pressure scenario now, and hopefully this helps push him over the edge, and he's able to really shine.
I mean, if you look at this particular lineup, right, I think they came 3rd or 4th at RY Power Masters as well. Yes, that event was played with a lot of issues, but you can't take away the win from them. They did play pretty decently, and even if you look at their online results of late and the EPL run as well, they've been having a pretty good performance all in all. I still don't see them winning this, but like you mentioned, Potter, I think this would be a great opportunity for the likes of Neptune and all these guys to kind of like get in that experience, right? This is a great opportunity, and like you mentioned, the pressure's off right now.
And also, I mean, it's Steel, right? I mean, he's an in-game leader that's always spoken about in North America as being one of the top in-game leaders that we have to provide. And so, and having James as the coach, I mean, what better perfect fit for, to come in and fill in someone who already knows the strats, who already knows the players and all the call-outs. And so it's going to make it one step easier for him to be incorporated and hopefully help the team with some rounds on the board.
I actually have a question for you, Potter. Like, you have an in-game leader like Steel, who's a very hands-on in-game leader. He likes taking control of, you know, how the team plays and whatnot. And then suddenly you have your coach, again, a very cerebral coach, is sitting with you. What happens in this scenario? Like, who takes the reins of the calling?
You know, it's going to be pretty tough, right, to be able to delegate and in those scenarios. And I think that's also why we see Neptune have a little bit of a slower start into the scene. He has such powerful voices surrounding him and probably guiding him and telling him exactly what they need from him as a player. And so the freedom aspect isn't there. And so that's definitely something to consider, is having 2 macho voices, in-game leaders in the server with you. And so, but I'm sure that they have have a system, they have protocols. Steel is very proficient as an in-game leader, and so they've been through this before. As I mentioned, they've played qualifiers and online matches with James on multiple occasions over the past several months, and so this is definitely not something that's very new for Ghost. It's something that they have encountered before, and so it's not such a huge curveball, I don't think.
And how confident are we feeling about Kusta in the AWP role on Dust 2? Because it's an essential component of any team on this map.
It definitely is. And you know, Kusta's not the primary AWPer. He's actually a rifler, a very proficient rifler, and he brings out that AWP here and there whenever he's feeling confident. And as we mentioned, there's no pressure on these guys anymore. So hopefully we see him pulling out the AWP a lot more often and being aggressive and hunting for those kills, because Kusta is another one of those players that has been talked about in North America for quite some time. And you know, honestly, he always actually tends to perform. He's not a player that's gonna be the top fragger in the server, but he's gonna do his job and maintain his responsibilities for sure.
Well, let's talk about the top dogs in this matchup. Avangar. We're expecting big things from them, Blair.
I'm expecting a lot of big things from them. One thing I want to pick on is we're going to be seeing him soon, very quickly. Sanji has been definitely a great pickup, right? This guy, I saw him play in Simon Gaming at the CIS Minor, where I think they came 5th or 6th or something like that. But what impressed me about this guy was he was not only a great fragger, he was the in-game leader for that team. So him coming in here, one's got to ask this question. I don't know this for a fact, but Jamie being the in-game leader with Sanjay coming in, maybe they're sharing the calling duties, and that could definitely help unlock Jamie, who everyone knows he can be a beast. He is a beast, but now without the load of having to shoulder the entire responsibility of a mid-round calling or whatnot, maybe it can be better for him. Maybe that's why they picked him up. I was surprised when he picked up Sanji, the fact that he is primarily known for being an in-game leader.
And we have Kickert on the screen here. I would say this guy is the superstar right behind Jane. We speak about Jane because he's such a solid player, but Kickert is the player that his side man that gets the really impressive kills, the impossible rounds where 1v5, 1v4 scenarios, and Kickert has such snappy, fast aim that he's able to get those really impressive kills, actually.
Do you think that Sanji was maybe picked up because that IGL role kind of rotates around Jame and Kicker? It seems to have been pretty much with Jame for the last few months, ever since just before the major. But now they've got Sanji. Maybe they're tempted to switch it over again.
Could be. I think if they win, which they should, at least we have the interview. You can probably ask Jamie or whoever about how they're really working when it comes to in-game leading scenario. But if you take the other players as well, we have Fitch, we have Buster and Kicker. All three of them, like, no one really slacks off in this team. Everyone's kind of does their role right, and of course they set up Jamie to just get those kills, right? And the beautiful thing about watching Jamie play is it's not just about his CD side opping where he's almost impossible to kill. Like, if he's saving his op, just let him save. You're not going to get it out of his hands. He has one of the best KD ratios, especially based on the fact that he just doesn't die. He doesn't give up that op at all. However, on the T side, what I love about him is how many rounds have I seen where he just walks into the site, gets the opening 2 kills, that's it, the round's done.
For sure. I don't think I've seen Jamie miss many shots with that op, and versus him coming up on Ghost as Wardell, he's someone we haven't talked about today, actually, but he's the star of this lineup. He's the star of Ghost, and he definitely shows it within the server, his opping ability, and he's been growing in the last year. He's been getting better and better per event, per match that he plays. I think Steel is using him very well. We're definitely seeing growth on that end, so hopefully and Wardell is very aggressive, so hopefully he shows up today.
Yeah, I think it's surprising I didn't mention Wardell myself. Like, he's a player who I've really been enjoying watching, especially when he plays, right? I've seen so many clutch moments coming out from him. And for someone who's so young and one would say inexperienced, the amount of good decision-making that comes out from the guy, especially in these clutch scenarios or 2v3 or 3v3s, it's quite phenomenal. And like you mentioned, Potter, it really helps to have someone like Steel right next to you, bringing up your level.
Absolutely. I mean, I spoke earlier about Nexa being such a proficient 1vx player, a clutch player, and just shines in those sticky situations. Wardell is another one of those players. He's a player that does that with the ops, so it makes it a little bit more impressive when you're watching those highlight rounds, and he has so many of those highlight rounds. And I think over the past year or so, since he's been on under Steel's reign, he's been kind of learning how to be a better 5 versus 5 player when all 5 players are alive, and trying to find his openings in that scenario. But in those sticky situations, he's definitely a player that very much out of 10, he comes out on top.
We need to get some predictions, guys. Blair, I feel like I know which way you're gonna go.
I'm going to go with Avangar, sorry. Almost slipped up there. It's going to be Avangar. And Potter, if you say Ghost.
Say Ghost, say Ghost, say Ghost.
You know, I'm not going to say Ghost. I really, in the beginning of yesterday, when I didn't know Freakazoid wasn't coming, I would have 100% voted for Ghost. I actually think these guys have an amazing project going. However, I'm going to have to go with Avangar. Jamie hardly misses any shots, and without Ghost's full lineup, I don't. It should be easy pickings for him.
I feel like, yeah, I'm not the expert, but the pressure is on me because I called that last match correctly and I haven't rubbed it in your faces yet.
Oh, you're doing it now? All right.
I'm doing it right now. Oh, yeah. Predictor winner here, so I'm going to say Avangar.
Ah, smart.
And I want to see what Twitch chat are saying. We're just popping my prediction on the screen because that's the future. I'm just telling you now. I might not have got the G2 prediction right, but shh, that was another time. What are you saying, Twitch chat? You're saying, again,
they've lost it.
We've got another Brexit split. Avangar 52%, Ghost 48%. Who is watching in America right now? You should be in bed. What?
I think they're just trolling around. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
It should be close. Ghost should get many rounds on the board. They may not win, but this should be competitive.
Yeah,
and if it's not, it'll be very disappointing.
No, absolutely. I don't see them getting completely stomped out like what we saw in the previous, like the first game and the third game of today, but it's not going to be very close either. It's going to be like 16-9, 16-8, 16-10 thereabouts. That's what I'm predicting here.
Oh, my sweet, sweet summer children. I don't know what we're going to do with you after this match. If Avangar do lose this, can you see them fighting their way back through that lower bracket to the final?
They're not going to lose it.
Absolutely.
They're not going to lose it. That's a really good point.
But if
Sorry,
they do,
Potter.
no, it's okay. If they do, yeah, they'll definitely. They're such a clutch team.
Well, let's talk about the potential lower bracket then. Say, hypothetically, but it's going to be true because I predicted it, Ghost go into that lower bracket playoff, that best of 3 tomorrow against the French Frogs. Is it the French Frogs?
Is it?
No, the French Frogs won. It's going to be G2.
G2.
It's just Sweet Desolé. It's going to be G2.
Well, considering the way G2 played today, I think I'd give Ghost a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I would. But then again, okay, let's look at it logically, right? There we have it. So we have Mouse and Valiant are going to be playing later on, and of course we have Instinct versus Wendigo. You got to give it to Wendigo here, right? I mean, you don't see a world where Instinct's going to pull off the upset here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, today, it's hard to judge that match today versus Valiant. They never really got into it, but both of these teams kind of got stomped today, so the prediction aspect is getting a little bit more challenging.
Well, there you have it. Group B, though. I think, yeah, it's going to be G2 versus the loser of this game. It's going to be Ghost. I kind of feel like Ghost, like you said, like I think they stand a chance to at least maybe take a map, but if I'm G2, and I lose to Ghost, if Ghost loses this game, that is, if I lose to Ghost, I'm gonna have to go for some retreat and kind of like, you know, reset my mind. Because you cannot lose, you cannot get, you know, you can't drop out of the groups. You're G2 for crying out loud, especially in France and in your hometown. Yeah. And the last time a French team won DreamHack Tours was like 2 years back. It's their turn now.
You can't be G2 and lose to French Frogs either in the opening match. That's the...
I mean, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. Hopefully, they're going to reset tonight. I feel like G2 actually are a team that can do that. Maybe not on the same day, but I feel like we're going to see a different G2 in that best of 3 tomorrow.
Hopefully. And that'll be a testament, right, to the team's tenacity and mental fortitude to be able to overcome that, come on the second day, and progressively just get better and better throughout the duration of the tournament.
And also G2 have got the benefit they can actually watch this match. They can see what these two teams are all about. But we've got a couple of gentlemen who are ready and waiting. Are they summer children, though? That is what I want to know. Vince and Duff, who are you predicting for this matchup?
It's got to be Avangar, right? I like that Blad's holding it down over there. You know, I was always the reasonable one on the desk. I'm glad Blad's holding it down over there. So's Potter, though. She's holding it down. She's being reasonable as well, not going for her friends on Ghost. You've done well as well, Frankie. You're an all-star.
Yeah, you're saying I'm unreasonable. That's what I was worried about.
I mean, you also picked Avangar.
It's fine. You know what? I might make like our friend from earlier. I'll just walk across your shop. Apparently, he's a console player. I had a word with him. We had a chat during the break. I chucked him out and I gave him a PlayStation controller. Now we're going to hand over to you guys because we need to get this show on the road. I'm so excited. Let's eat some dust too.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Yes, indeed.
I think it's safe to say that Ghost come into this the heavy underdogs. I mean, where do you come down with this match? Are you going to believe in Ghost, or are you going to go with a bit more easy?
You know, I could have seen a world where they could win it if they would have had their full lineup. They definitely had shown a strength on Dust 2 at different points in time throughout their period together as a lineup, kind of dating even back to late last year. Even beat a team like Na'Vi on that map, a world-class team. We're able to beat teams like Team Liquid online on Dust 2, so they certainly had a track record of being good on Dust 2. And when you watch them play, when you see their strategy, you know, most people kind of simplify Dust 2 to just being like, you know, a DM map based on spawn-based rushes and things of that nature, but Ghost really did have some cool layers to how they use utility and how they attack the map, and I expect some of that will still be around, so that's something they can kind of leverage. Whereas with Avangar, they're just that steady team, man, and they have so many heavy hitters on that squad. Even Sanji, kind of the new guy on the team, was really impressive in Rio next to the star players, Kickert and James, so... And Dust 2's definitely in their wheelhouse. The only team that's beat them consistently on that map is Na'Vi, and they were always very close games. They themselves are very efficient on this map, have really good results in all the tournaments they've played in recent times.
Yeah, I mean, Avangar just off the back in ECS of losing narrowly to NIP. It was 19-16 from the Ninjas. So, I mean, there are a team that have played this a lot over the last 3 months. Ghost have only played it 3 times. So, I think... if we're looking at recent results, it doesn't bode too well for Ghost, especially considering that Freakazoid isn't here.
Yeah, definitely not. Again, I think Dust 2 used to be like the top of Avangar's map pool. Maybe they've kind of moved elsewhere, but they're still really strong here. But Ghost starting out on the T side, Wardell already making some headway at long. It's pushed D2 CTs back to site, so some information being denied just a little bit. Rest are coming through lower tunnels, though, and they do have a little bit of utility to work with. That smoke will go down CT spawn, so this could be a mid-B split, but it could be a fake.
Steal out first. Wardell's early aggression, not going to yield anything, but B is being pressed on. Quicker very easily dispatches of Steel. A bomb goes with him, but now the terrorists starting to enforce their will. Over on the B side, Buster, the last line of defense, waiting for the rest of his team to wrap around, but he's been dealt with. And now Neptune, the youngster, and Wardell going to find themselves in a 2-on-1 against Sanji. Still plenty of time. They do have control over the bomb. They now know where Sanji resides. He's landed one headshot and he's looking to double up. Not too far off with his P2000 dink from the left. And now he's going to have to be oh so careful. Still connects the headshot, though. And Avangar pick up the first round.
Man, that was a nail-biter of a round. Ghosted really well in the mid-B split. I was a little bit concerned that the flank through long A wouldn't come quick enough, but it actually did quite well. Put Sanji into a difficult 1 versus 2. I think Ghost just lost more players on B because they didn't expect a third player to be there. Buster popped out a little bit late, caught them off guard. They probably weren't thinking that more than 2 would be on the site. But Sanji still pulls off the 1v2 anyhow. We are going to see Ghost Gaming here actually get the hero AK onto Kusta. They have a scout on Wardell. Just kind of sitting back in default right now. Nothing too crazy. Looking to see if Avangar are going to get aggressive. Avangar did take some peeks into B tunnels with Kickert, but aren't really going to fall off of a default setup. They do have Fitch up really close, though, on long A with that MP9. A little bit of utility here for Ghost Gaming. Just kind of gearing up over towards middle. Definitely could still attack mid-B. They do have the smokes for it. Could also look to fake it, though, and go cat. That's the big thing about Dust 2. Once you get this kind of mid-portion under your control and you start getting towards the stairwells of Catwalk, you can bounce so quickly between mid-B and cat attacks. That's why CTs can have such a difficult time reading the attack and being able to rotate properly.
Now that smoke has been deployed on the CT side. It's going to give them a bit more free reign to make moves. Sanji, Org, double spray yields 2 frags, one of which was through the wall onto Neptune. MP9 in close proximity, going to do very much the same. And Ghost Gaming, try as they may through mid, only going to get the 1 kill for their trouble. The coach, a stand-in, last player on the chopping block, and Avangar steamroll to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, not a whole lot that Ghost could do there. Trying just to use what limited firepower they could to poke and prod at mid and up Catwalk, but Sanji, again, with the multi-frag round, so he's definitely been off to a good start. I was a little bit worried about him because some of his online play has been really, really mixed, but it seems like he's been really strong when he hits the LAN environment. You know, some players have the opposite effect where they struggle to transition, but Sanji actually really seems to thrive in these types of environments, and he's already had a couple of big rounds here. So, well done. Still not really sure what to expect from Ghost. We haven't seen them fully decked out yet with utility and firepower, so haven't shown their cards just yet. Still early days here on Dust 2.
Yeah, very much the case. I mean, the pistol went down to the wire, and a 2-on-1. It was looking like it could very well go the way of Ghost. Pauses came and gone, and kicker right off the back, up mid, lands a headshot onto Neptune. It's going to put them on the back foot. It is, by and large, though, a very low investment round, so no big deal for Ghost.
Yeah, weren't expecting a whole lot here. Just maybe a couple of P250 sprinkled around, a few flashbangs to try to maybe pop flash and peek into something and hope for a headshot on the P250. But in reality, it would be a miracle if they could even get a bomb plant. Sanji, though, standing firm at the ramp. He's being flashed off, but he's staying alive. Kicker's found a kill in the meantime. Wardell does pop out for one, and this bomb does get planted, so mission accomplished for Ghost.
A bit awkward, but got it done. And as you say, the bomb plant really is exactly what they were looking for. Any kills is a nice bonus. Only the one onto Sanji, easy to fuse. But this is going to bolster Ghosts by that little bit more. Coming through into round 4.
Indeed, extra funds will certainly help Ghost out. Make sure Wardell gets that AWP and have armor. Make sure that utility can go around. And I think what Ghost needs to think about is the fact that Avangar has a tendency on CT side, Dust 2, to kind of just not really worry too much about mid doors or the catwalk. They kind of get that space for free. Sometimes they even triple stack to be bomb site. They really like to obviously focus on having long A control, making sure that's anchored away, but they're perfectly willing to kind of give up cat, so I think Ghost can maybe look to exploit that a bit. Ghost, we're trying to go for some early long A control there. They actually do have some really good techniques for isolating pit with good smoke walls on the long corner, but Avangard's utility is going to push Ghost back, so they're going to have to kind of rethink how they want to approach the early part of this round.
Plus, they're rocking out with 2 AWP, so mobility isn't really at the top of the chain for Ghost Gaming. Heavy on the sniper rifles. You understand on Dust 2, it is a sniper's paradise. Does make them a little bit more slow, lumbering on their aggression over on the B side. Currently stuck in the tunnels. Not a great deal of real estate or map control for the T's thus far.
No, they tried to put a little bit of smoke down the creep forward, but counter utility again from Avangar has been on point, slowing Ghost down. They were hoping Wardell would just be able to find something with that AWP. And here's the big thing right now. They have a player hidden there in the corner. That's a spot that does not get commonly checked. Normally, you're going to clear close right. You're going to be looking at the back platform. You're going to be looking towards window and door. And so if he picks the right timing, he can be huge. But actually, he just raced out and spams the smoke for a kill. So there you go. That's even a better result than you could have expected from him. That's certainly going to hurt. Ghost still trying to get this mid-B rolling, though.
Doesn't give them much information with that one kill. Could have just been the lurk play from Kusta. Sub 30 seconds. Buster's going to chip in with a second and a third for the round. Avangar flying once again. 20 seconds now when Ghost really have nowhere to pivot off. Fitch has got them on the retreat. It's only an MP9, so it's going to yield the 1 kill. If they could take this AWP away, it would be massive for Avangar, especially after time. They have a couple of expendable weapons with a bunch of money in the bank. 3 seconds remain. Wardell back against the wall. Gonna start to get pressured from his right-hand side, misses. And to rub salt in the wounds, he's only got about $500 left and no AWP ticking through into the next round.
Yeah, it's going to be really painful. I just think Avangar did so well kind of layering their utility to counter any pushes from Ghost. It kept slowing them down. Also, towards the end of the 4-on-5, I feel like Ghost just wasn't on the same page. You know, when they were trying to go for a mid-B split, ideally the optimal way to do it would be to kind of attack B together. That way, the 2 players in the B bomb side have to split their attention 2 directions. But they kind of just got the focus up on B tunnels. The mid pressure never really came through. They were worried about a player boosted and spawn, and they tried to molly him out, but it got extinguished. So they really didn't feel comfortable trying to come up the B slope and help that B tunnels push. So basically, Avangar just had the easiest time. You know, again, not getting aggression thrown too many directions at once. And now Ghost, distant Eagles. Not much to do here.
And pardon me, it was actually worse than I anticipated. Wardell, $250. Half of what I was guessing. So even in the next round, the bulk of Ghost can buy, but Wardell, unless someone can drop him across an AWP, he's going to be having a bit of a rough day. Looking for a boost. Doesn't actually pay off, but James still connects with his AWP. Spray's looking good, and James will finish off round 5.
Again, now Ghost is going to be finally able to get back onto a little bit of something here. Really hoping Wardell with the AWP can find something. Because the big thing is Steel and Freakazoid are kind of the main entry combo. The ones kind of poking and prodding through mid doors or trying to attack into the catwalk or just leading executes in general. So with Freakazoid not being here, that puts a lot more pressure on some of the more passive players like Kusta and Neptune to try to help provide alongside Wardell's op and alongside Steel's AK. And Steel is even more needed now to create those openings with his rifle instead of just kind of being a role-playing entry to set up other players. And look, they're going to be attacking mid really fast. There's even no smoke on CT's bomb. That's going to be painful. Quicker going to make them pay for that.
Do at least come back with 2 of their own, so it has steadied the ship. However, information gathered, and Steel has been dealt with through mid. The nightmare comes to fruition once again. It's Sanji that's wrapped around the back, and Neptune thinned out elsewhere on the B side. Sanji is going to get bested by Wardell, who finally does pick up the bomb. 1 on 2. Minute to play with, could start to get into the minds of Avangar. Divide and conquer with that Molotov placed down on A.
Yeah.
They know exactly what's coming up, plus he's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would try to creep up, but I guess he wanted to ensure the site was clear. That way he could safely walk in. Now he only has to worry about Goose. He's cleared that, but there's already a player so close. There's no way he's getting the bomb down for free. And yeah, Buster would actually pick a great timing to just push off the catwalk. And so Avangar dominating things. I'm wondering if Ghost, just did that to try to catch Avangar off guard, but Kicker was more than happy to allow himself just to hold the angle through CT spawn, not being smoked off, collect a couple of kills, and Ghosts just keep finding themselves in disadvantages too early on before they get their execute rolling.
Yeah, constantly hemorrhaging players left and right. Another aggressive push, this time outside long. Flashbangs there to greet the 2 strong defense from Avangar. They start to shimmy their way back towards the CT side. So Ghost have won this small victory, but what can they do with it?
Yeah, Dust 2 can always be dicey when both teams have good long A spawns. So you just kind of see a 3-on-3 clash within the first, few seconds of the round. Ghost have caused a bit of a stalemate. Avangar don't lose anybody, and they're actually able to get Fish push Cat. So even though they've given up some real estate, they're getting information elsewhere. This is the exact response you need to have when you lose long A. You need to be able to at least control the other side. That way you can focus all your attention on this one route. Smokes will help the cross, but James still posted with the AWP, finds one.
Yeah, Steel and James both been dealt with very early on. And Neptune, who tries to rummage around the back and get sneaky, has been sent packing. Kusta, Wardell, last lines of defense, last hope for Ghost to get themselves on the scoreboard. They still haven't been able to strike, and today's not going to be their lucky day either. 7-0 start. It's looking all too easy for Avangar.
It really is. It's just, again, they had the appropriate reaction to losing long A control. They just bunched up Cat. They made sure that it wasn't an A split, that the whole attack was going to be coming one way. I think there was one player lurking mid, which I think Fitch picked up on pretty quickly. And so at that point, Ghost can only hope to just trade inside the site and maybe get some utility on Cat post-plant. But they were already getting whittled down by James AWP and the rest of his teammates pitching in. And now Ghost again, a little bit of a low buy here. Invest a little bit, making sure that they can still buy up fully next round on the full loss bonus. But they get themselves at least a little bit of something to work with here. Still certainly far from ideal.
Bit of chip damage.
I'll say another thing that Avangar's really done well. They're doing well pressuring middle with 2 players each time and still having someone on B. They really control this side of the map nicely in the early round. And they mix it up. They don't just keep doing it. Like, the other round, they pushed up catwalk. So they're definitely varying their aggression, or maybe not full aggression and taking peaks, but at least taking forward position.
Really keeping Ghost under balance. Easy mop up in mid against pistols. Grenades are a rare commodity for Ghost Gaming here in round 8. Kusta, last man standing, not for much longer. Flawless round for Avangar. I mean, really, it's been a flawless performance across the board.
I'm wondering if Steel's going to pick up a second AWP. They're one of the few teams that like to run double op pretty frequently on T sides. I just don't think the money's there for him to be able to also get armor and utility, so he will go for the AK. Actually, no, a second op does come out. It'll be on Kusta. Sometimes it'll be Steel who takes a second op, but I think Kusta's doing it because he has the good long A spawn. So he is going to be running out there to look to see if he can find something. Just get smoked out.
Yeah, a couple flashes preceding it. Couldn't really get any clear vision. Collectively, Ghost Gaming have 12 kills. Kicker by himself has 11. 12 kills in nearly 9 rounds played, Dust. It does not make for good listening.
No. And it is worth noting, obviously, Kusta was a primary opper for the bulk of his career, kind of before playing alongside Ricky on CLGs, where he started to kind of fade away from that role. So it's not Steel the second op, but still in capable hands. though he doesn't really have that same killer instinct as certain operas. That's why Wardell's taking it over. He's the more aggressor. Kuster just kind of holding angles, hoping someone's going to push into him, but Avangar not giving him anything to work with. Wardell, though, nice smoke on B side mid to peek through CT spawn. Caught Sanji off guard. That's a nice little gimmick that gets them one of the few mana advantages I've seen them have in the mid-round throughout this entire game. So this is the perfect point to try to make something happen. This is the best look you've had.
Sure, again, it's about capitalizing, though. B definitely seems ripe for the taking, especially as Buster has been found and fragged. Quicker, top fragger. Gonna have to step up massively. Wardell deals with him. They have managed to thin the herd a little bit, though, on Ghost Gaming, so it is a 2-on-3, but B site always a nightmare to retake when you are a player or two behind. Nearly even it up. Neptune caught out napping. Not fully put to sleep, though, by Fitch. Probably going to set up for some exit frags. I mean, they have plenty of economy saved up, but the chances of 2v3 clutching, very, very slim.
Of course not. I mean, they certainly had the money to throw away at something like that, but again, like you said, retaking B, difficult even with even numbers, much less men behind. So yeah, just trying to take down some guns, force some rebuying out of Ghost Gaming, keep their economy tight is the name of the game here. James has already found one of them as he just kind of posted up on the mid box, but good job from Ghost. I mean, they got an early 5-on-4. With the 5-on-4 and you run a mid-B split, mid-B is hard to deal with regardless, but having the man advantage on top of it certainly helped. You could just kind of tell that Kickert had too much to deal with. He tried to be sneaky and push through door and try to make it a little bit better. And here's that first kill that Wardell got, just kind of catching Sanji in awkward space. Catches Kicker before he can do anything as well when he pushed door. So good play from Wardell all around. What can Ghost build off of it, though, now is going to be the big question. They need way more than this.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you even touched on it. It's kind of a gimmicky play and mid to smoke that and go for the peak. You really have to assume that Avangar will not fall for that twice.
No, certainly not. And they've been doing really good just holding off these choke points, you know, pressuring long A, pressuring B tunnels, not giving Ghost vision to try to go for picks. But Kusta through the spam is going to find Fish. That's a lucky find for the peripheral player of Ghost Gaming. Definitely feels at home on the edges of the map, and this time he gets a little bit more than expected in an early round situation. And Ghost built off the 5-on-4 quite nicely last time around by pressuring mid-B, and it seems to be the case again. Again, this is non-committal, though. You don't have to go for this. They could easily transition to a catwalk play, as James is starting to get that under his control, making sure stairwell is clear. So they're leaving all their options open still, while still kind of probing at middle with one player.
But this time, Buster's playing more passively. He has the AWP. He got killed in window last round. That's really what opened up and gave Kickert all the problems. So if there's two still alive on B, there's still a glimmer of hope. There's still a possibility for Avangar to bite down and swat away the oncoming Ts.
And Sanji's already flanking through long A. Depending on how fast he can get there, he can be crucial.
Kicker positioned, poised, ready to strike. There's one. Knows the second player is coming up window, but he was somewhat in the back of his mind realizing players are pushing out tunnel as his teammate died alongside with him. Sanji's been found as he pushes aggressively through the tunnels. There was no hope for James to get even close to help him out there. So he'll be looking to save an AWP, and hey, Ghost, they've actually put 2 rounds together. They've connected the dots.
Yeah, if Ghost would have waited just a couple of more seconds before running through B, Sanji's flank could have been so massive. James felt comfortable just kind of sticking around A because of that flank, and Ghost just caught a really good timing. Again, mid-B, very difficult to deal with when both players are stuck inside the site. You have to worry about tunnels, window, door. You have to cover your teammate if he goes down, if they you know, don't trade out right away. So Ghost does well. They'll also retain their double AWP setup, which is nice because their economy isn't great. So to be able to just kind of save it over is awesome. Curious if Steel will pick it up now. Again, he's a little bit more aggressive and feels a bit more comfortable taking picks with an op, whereas Kusta, again, kind of just more of an angle holder. But it also obviously depend on who has maybe the best spawn to go for the long A peak. And it looks like it would be Kusta if they want to do that. But no, he does get the AK, and yes, it will be Steel with that second op.
Yeah, again, Kusta's not necessarily known for his very aggressive AWPing, so had that have been Wardell, I'd have expected the peak. Kicker, though, on the perimeter of the smoke, the periphery, waiting, hoping for a pixel. Surely he saw that.
Maybe we did. Spec can sometimes be different. I'm not sure. Either way, he still finds 2, so no harm, no foul. And Buster at B's also hold firm, so it's all gone wrong for Ghost. They're so separated in there in 2v4, and Sanji's in the middle of them.
Not for the first time. Aggression yielding results for Avangar. Wardell, weight of the round on his shoulders. If they want to strike 3 times in a row, he's going to have to pull a rabbit out the hat. Not going to happen. James puts him to rest. And the comeback has been derailed.
It seems like the only time Ghost can control middle is when Kicker gives it to him, when he kind of focuses more on just helping Buster out in the B-bomb site. But when he's faced middle with that AUG, he has been wreaking absolute havoc over Ghost. And normally, that's something you need to be able to take. You need to be able to get that mid-B pressure. And they've pulled it off a couple of times, but nothing consistent. Again, Avangar has been doing really great, varying up how they position themselves on this CT side, how they handle things. And they're going to go fast again this time at Sanji with those 2 kills.
Gets 2 smoked down. They can't really look to counteract, but Buster with his AUG. Doing solid work. And a Molotov kill onto Neptune. I think he's got 2 HP. And deja vu from the round prior. It's Wardell. It's another 1v4. This time he's got a little bit more time to play with, but the bomb's dropped on the wrong side of the doors as far as he's concerned. Oh, that's a hell of a flick onto Jane. And there's no one there to actually flank him, so it's going to be a case of trying to starve him out with time. He had a chance.
It looked close.
It did look like it could have connected, but at the end of the day, Vanguard, strength in numbers.
Again, it's just, you can't keep pushing middle like this if you're Ghost and only get 1 for 2 players. That is just the most inefficient trading you could really get, and it's really cost them. The only rounds they have won have been off of early picks and getting a quick 5-on-4, and one of them was super lucky, just Kusta spamming a smoke and getting that 5-on-4 for them that one round. So, again, they have not really found much. Avangar doing a great job contesting these initial choke points. And, again, they are so good at facing middle. Kicker has 15 kills, and I feel like the bulk of them have come off of just battling people at mid doors.
It pains me to say it, especially under the circumstances, but you know, we have to highlight that James, the stand-in, 0012 with 9 ADR, and Steel's not much better, to be fair. He's team 11 with 13 ADR.
Yeah, and he's one of their entry fraggers,
exactly.
Right? So if he's not finding the openings, and I feel like Wardell's just been limited. He's not played bad, but he just hasn't really seen many opportunities come his way. Avangar's done a good job not giving him much to look at, and kind of really Wardell's been put in a lot of late round situations by himself, having to kind of clutch. He hasn't really been able to be the aggressor. I think it's mostly just off of Avangar's utility. Like, he's never really been able to find a position or an angle where he could take a peek that he felt comfortable with. So when you're limiting his capabilities and Steel's not having a good game as an entry, you're in for a bad time. And we knew this would happen, though, right? We knew that James coming in as the stand-in, the coach having the play, was always going to make this a difficult spot to be in, and it's certainly how it's played out.
Yeah, especially with such little ability to prepare for it. I mean, it was like a day or two where Freakazoid dropped out. Here we go, though. Action onto the A side. That's a flick that does connect, but partially through the box now. Fitch going to clean up the rest alongside James. No casualties on the side of Avangar. Ghost sent sprawling again, 11-2.
I mean, you can add up all the kills from Ghost, and 2 players combined from Avangar will be better than that. And then they have 3 other players out there fragging on top of it, so the numbers just aren't favoring Ghost at all here. Only a couple of rounds left to play in this half. One of the last gun round opportunities they're going to have. They're trying to go for a quick long A control. The utility's giving him the space, but Kicker's fighting back. He's not giving this up for free, but that's a great little move from James into the pit, but he still can't find the kill. You need to get that one. You had him dead to rights, and that's going to hurt.
A rough day at the office continues. If that kill goes down, Long was open for business. There is a heavy rotation, though. 3 players strong from Avangar going into CT and A side. Now, unfortunately for Ghost, that's where the bulk of their aggression currently lays on Long. They do have time to change their mind.
Really well done from Fitch. This is like deja vu. The last time they lost Long A like this, Fitch got a kill on Cat. They held up here. They just killed on the cross. It might happen again. We'll see what Kusta and Steel can do, though.
Fitch perched up on the site, rains down some pain onto Kusta. That's the bomb drop. They know now it's going to be the A play. Bomb still hasn't been retrieved, but Wardell about to pick it up. Collectively, 17 health between the 2 of them, and 1 stray bullet through the smoke finalizes Wardell. It's all down to Steel. 3 HP. One for each adversary. Not going to happen once again. Avangar have looked rock solid.
Indeed they have, and it just goes to show that even when Avangar lose a little bit of map control, which has been rare, if we're honest. It's only happened maybe a couple of times this game. They're so good at adjusting and making sure that they're taking real estate elsewhere, making sure they have some type of safety net that they can play from while they're not getting pressured from multiple sides. And again, Fitch keeps catching these key kills on that mid lurk to kind of get the man advantage back and just be able to focus on playing from Cat on the long cross. So they've done it all. They've either just wrecked Ghost at mid before they even gotten started, or they've shut Ghost down on the execute. 1 round left to play, and Avangar are so far ahead. Finally a cat rush coming in from Ghost, something a little bit different.
Make too much noise though. Fitch in such a good spot to throw in a grenade. Have Molotovs as well. Actually, pardon me, they've already been tossed in. So depleting their fire, but Ordnance, more than enough to deal with Steel. Going to be picking shrapnel out of his teeth. And that's pretty much put an end to the catwalk push for the time being. They are going to start to rummage together a second wave of aggression. And they think better of it, Dust. They're going to piece back out, and they're going to go back to mid. This has been really their comfort zone, you have to feel. But no, again, indecision coming to the forefront. Jay picking up the scraps they line up. Nearly gets a 2 for 1. But it's so stalled, it's so stagnant, and it's so easy for Avangar. 1 by 1, they conga line their way out of short. It's just so simple. Can Jane pick up a 4K to finish off this half? Only Kusta stands between him. No, Fitch is there, but it's 13-2. Avangar in cruise control.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all for Ghost right there. Just couldn't find anything at all. But we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you the second half, so stay tuned.
Surprise, all my worldly things were aside. I guess that she had enough this time. Maybe I shouldn't have lied. I thought I could put one over on her. I thought I was way too sly. But when she put that X-ray vision on me, I just broke down and cried. Shouldn't have lied. I shouldn't have lied. Baby, I shouldn't have lied. Said I got caught, I guess I shouldn't have lied. Oh, come on, that's right. I guess I got caught. Next morning, I'm blowing up her phone. Keep texting 911, but she ain't biting. I should have known. Maybe this time we're really done. I thought I could put one over on her. I thought I was way too sly, but when she put that X-ray vision on me, I just broke down and cried. I shouldn't have lied.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful tour. It hasn't been too beautiful if you are a Ghost fan. Rough watching, but Avangar steamrolled to a 13-2 lead on Dust 2, and now the roles reversed. They're starting on the T side. You have to say here, Dust, it's pistol round or bust for Ghost Gaming. They simply have to get this.
Yeah, it's the classic, isn't it? I mean, it's obvious to everyone, and I'm sure it is to Ghost as well. Try to get a little bit aggressive towards middle and catwalk with Steel and Wardell, trying to be players to take initiative. Try to create the opportunity rather than it falling in their lap, but they have been denied on all fronts. No damage dealt to Avangar at all from those aggressive maneuvers. Now we start seeing Ghost Gaming kind of fade back into more standard positions. As I say that, though, Steel's coming back for more. He's trying to make something of this.
Maybe playing with a lack of pressure on his shoulders. Solid headshot. Dispatching of Buster, and able to keep his own life and pull back to the A site. That's a great start for Ghost Gaming. They're going to need way more of that. Steel going to take a second fight and comes out ahead again. This time Sanji is on the receiving end and Steel's on for an ace. He's picked up 4 already. Jane can do nothing as his team crumbles around him. Doesn't even have control of the bomb. This is great to see for Ghost Gaming, and especially Steel, who had a real rough first half.
Indeed he did. Only just James kind of anchoring below him here. Steel's definitely done a great work. Could even find the ace, and there it is. Well done. So many headshots from Steel. Again, he just kept playing around the catwalk. He was not willing to give that up for free. He kept looking for fights at middle, eventually found them and won them all. Well done, Josh.
It's going to boost his confidence significantly. He had 2 kills coming into the second half. Now he's up to 7, which puts him joint second with Neptune.
It's not saying much, but it's something. Now we just need to get James on the board. Surely he'll find something playing over here towards A with Steel, as you know, usually it's going to be Neptune and Kusta holding it down over towards B. Also, I'll say this, if Kusta can get that second AWP out fast enough over on the B side of the map, along with Wardell over on the opposite, they could make something of this half. Kusta's a really good CT side operator, particularly on that B bomb side, so that could be what they need to get back into this.
Wardell going to miss out on his chance to capitalize, but the firepower completely in favor of Ghost Gaming. A bit surprised they even lost 1 player in the form of Steel, but it's going to be AKs. It's going to be the firepower now coming to the forefront. And the second proper test on this half for Ghost Gaming.
And Avangar are a really cohesive team. Again, Dust 2, the strategy's never going to be too elaborate, but you got to have the basics down. They are usually always on the same page. They're not going to be timid like Ghost. They're not going to feed out 1 by 1. They're going to go for fights, and Jame already has that long A spawn right away. Good utility from Ghost to block Jame out, not allow him a pick on the corner. And James getting a little bit aggressive there. Might put a forward smoke and even try to play inside this hall. Try to go for a little bit more, at least deny the space for longer. Try to kill a little bit of clock.
Good to see that he also picked up a frag. Gonna maybe calm his nerves a little bit, getting over that first hump. Maybe many more to follow.
And now it's just default. I mean, Sanji takes over long A from Crizin. Buster playing the B tunnels with Fitch. What you'll see have Avangar open up with time and time again. The only real thing that'll vary is where James takes the op initially. Also, Sanji's a much more aggressive player than Crizin, so you will see him take fights out long A solos sometimes, and he can be very effective and be that nuisance while they're looking to control catwalk and pressure mid. You got to always worry about Sanji taking peeks off long and perhaps whittling you down from the extremities. And again, Avangar has that classic CIS style, slow and steady.
Yeah, no thrill stuff. Just solid Counter-Strike. 35 seconds, though. It's, of course, the downside of taking your sweet time. It's going to start to work against you. MP9, close range, starts to back away towards the door instead as a result of a lack of mid-control, and that timing stings Ghost Gaming. If Kusta has the MP9 up close, who knows what could have happened. Instead, they're shimmying away to save their UMP in orb. And, well, James been found by Jame. Only the AUG remains, and this comeback has been completely destroyed.
Yeah, just a good little standard B rush from Avangar. Good spacing on that initial wide swing to set up the second player. Trading one as efficient as you could really hope for. They knew that there wasn't going to be the highest firepower there because obviously Ghost want to kind of maintain the SMG and all that good stuff. Also, I was big on Kicker to, be in lower tunnels and catch that cat rotation right away. So there's really no hope of Ghost Gaming trying to set up a retake. Got Thorsley on their face as quickly as they tried.
Yeah, tried to cut their losses as soon as they realized that B had crumbled. We talked about this in the first half. It's one of the hardest sites in Counter-Strike to retake, especially at a deficit of players.
Except for a Vertigo, Vince.
Oh, God. Do you think we're going to see some Vertigo played at this tournament?
I surely hope not, Vince. I really hope not. Oh my goodness, let's not even go there. As we do have Ghost Gaming, obviously getting what they can. They have to stop Avangar from getting a free map point, but obviously it comes at the cost of having to use a couple of SMGs, and James is actually just on a Deagle. Again, Avangar, same standard opening they do time and time again. They love to just use Fitch and Buster together to kind of work catwalk from lower tunnels and then fall into a default. Fitch has already done well to fend off the cat aggression. And Steel, though, he's the one in the tricky spot. That's a great little lineup.
Exquisite spray from Steel. Bombs down. Smoke having to be deployed just to at least fake out the idea. They picked it up, and Ghost Gaming using their firepower so efficiently in round 19.
Playing some tricky spots, right? Little angles that you might not normally check. Now, obviously, Avangar will be cautious. Still have a little bit of fight left in this round from them, but it's a 2-on-5, and they have the time, but they're really boxed in. It would take a miracle for Avangar to fight their way out of this one.
It's going to have to start right here, right now. This confrontation, Buster, double play, stacking on top of each other, yields Neptune a kill. And James with the arduous task of trying to save his AWP for the next 30+ seconds. We know he's a player that's very patient, saves pretty often. He's only died 4 times, to put that in context.
He's such a good AWP, man. Also, in-game leads. The most valuable player in the CIS that isn't playing for Navi, you'd have to say. Kickard also up there. That's definitely the kind of the 2 names that we're going to be keeping eyes on going forward from that region for some time, I'd imagine.
I'd say CIS-wise, he's certainly on a short list of players that you want to pick up.
No question about that, that's for sure. And the thing is, because they have enough talent on this team, I mean, this team's a top 15 team in the world. You know, they've done some really great things. They just won Rio, obviously. They had a pretty good run at Katowice, narrowly missed out on a top 8 finish there. I think they're still in contention to qualify for Cologne. If I'm not mistaken, they still have like 1 match left against Heroic to try to get for that last spot. So definitely could be seeing them a lot in the offline environment.
That repeat, very dangerous. James going to be able to live to fight another day. Loses just over half of his HP for his troubles. Forces out a Molotov, but there isn't a great deal of utility at the disposal of Avangar either. A few smokes, Molotov, a few flashbangs.
It's really just relying on Jane finding a little bit of something with this AWP. Sanji does have the SIG, though, as well. He can take some distance fights through B tunnels onto the back platform. There is no second op, but there are some AKs waiting over there on the B side. As again, James just continues to keep poking and prodding by himself, hoping to find something, but Ghost not showing him anything.
Neptune, AK-47 used against the terrorists, and Kusta doubles up with his AK. James, the only player to counteract with his AWP, but he is down to just a measly 20 HP. Picker, next up. Managed to sweep aside Kusta. Not like this goes. It's down to Pickett now, but there is Steel, who really has woken up from his slumber. He's had a resurrection. This second half has seen him get so many kills. Huge part of the reason why Ghosts are coming back now.
Oh, I certainly agree with that. He has definitely done some great work. He's taken some initiative. Obviously, acing on the pistol round certainly helped. And Avangar still don't really have the funds. I mean, they still have James AWP that he's able to keep holding on to. AK out for Kickard as well, so the 2 star players do have some firepower to work with, a little bit of utility as well. Not deviating, though, from the default, though, just kind of keeping it up. James is on the board, by the way. He's gotten a kill. Now he's looking for a little bit more.
Steel at the end of the first half. 2 kills, now 13. His fortune certainly changing around rapidly. And if Ghost can weather the storm, there isn't going to be a goodbye for Avangar for a little while. Wardell taking a bit of damage. Going to throw a Molotov, though, just to ensure that Avangar can't play aggressively up catwalk.
Not just yet. Have to wait for that to fade. They have a couple of smokes they can use to actually drop down on the CT slope if they want to, or also just use it to cross and stop Wardell's AWP from being able to get kind of a free shot as they move across to A. Also have mollies for sight and goose. So all the utility that you would want to attack the catwalk they have in spades, and now they're starting to stream on in.
There's a slight gap in that smoke, which is allowing Wardell some information. He saw 2 players cross. Steel perched on top of the site, waiting for a bit of the smoke to dissipate so he can start to strike on his own, but he's been caught out in no man's land, and James going to potentially put the final nail in the coffin for this round. Wardell does bounce back. Bomb plant down. James now stepping up with the AUG, but Quicker and Buster going to keep this one even. That equality gets taken away, though, from Ghost. They're looking to retake and get this defuse down. All that stands between them is Kicker, but he's going to start to shimmy his way across to the back boxes. Now Sanji can make a move in. Just in time for Kusta to connect. He does have a kit. There's a smoke there. He's so desperately hoping this player peeks. He's going for the full defuse, and Sanji one-digging round the corner. There was no room for error. Kusta was very close to defusing that.
That round was like walking the tightrope, man. Avangar did so well in the initial execute, that smoke wall on the cross to stop Wardell from being able to take op shots. They also put a smoke on CT spawn. And what that does for CT is you have to worry that a terrace has dropped down on the slope, and they've added that third route to the attack other than long A and catwalk. And so whoever is playing the long ramp, you can't just watch the cat cross. You have to worry about that low attack. And so Avangar puts that threat out there, but still focuses all their numbers coming up the actual catwalk. And they got to the site really, really well. Some good entries, got the bomb down, took their time to clear out Goose with the Molotov, did everything right, but Ghost fought back so well in that retake. And then it comes down to a 1v1. Sanji just hits the deagle shot when he needed it most before Kusta could get the defuse off. So a very, very close round, but not good enough for Ghost. Now just one more round needed for Avangar to move on to that winner's match later on today. Ghost taking a timeout, a little bit of extra time to talk things over, but as you can see, there's just not much to work with. There's a scout and an AUG on Steel.
9 match points for Avangar. Ghost backs against the wall in every sense of the word. Financially, their accountant is hating things right now. Just an AUG and a scout, few CZs. No kits, lack of grenades. It's looking grim, to say the least.
And again, Avangar have no reason to change anything up. No need to fix what's not broken. Just keeping the default alive. Fitz putting a little bit of pressure on the door, a little bit of spam being traded. No map control being taken. They have a couple of smokes and a couple of Molotovs, so they could easily go mid-B. They could easily go up cat. That's the thing with Dust 2. You never really know until they fully commit because of how quickly you can transition between these entry points.
Time dwindling. We know that Avangar, no strangers to the slower rounds. Gonna try and deplete as many of these grenades as possible. Of course, we have the benefit of seeing there's really not much remaining. A smoke and a couple flashes. Wardell this time does connect. We saw him there with an AWP a couple rounds prior, but this time the scout headshot rings in. That's a huge moment in this round because it thins out this push, and it's also stalled them. And time is so low.
It is. James trying to see what he can do with the CZ. A nice one there. Almost finds a second. At least continuing to slow down Avangar and keep the man advantage for Ghost. James does get it back, though, with an op shot at middle. They might be even trying to go mid-B now. It's all up to Kusta, but the time is low.
They've got to commit to catwalk.
Something. Do anything.
There's no other way around it. They have to commit to catwalk, and it may still not be enough time. 4 seconds to go, and Steel! That spray transfer is beautiful. Ghost Gaming will live through another round. Can James hold on to the AWP? Yes, he can, but jeez. I mean, Avangar almost their own worst enemies, though, with how long they took.
You see they got caught between 2 mines. I think that half of them wanted to go mid-B, and the others were like, no, we need to run cat now. I don't know why they even gave Steel this opportunity. I guess, I don't know if they could have just ran up against the wall where Steel couldn't have seen them. Maybe they wouldn't have had time to plant, though, if they did that, so they had to kind of bunny hop on the wall just to have a chance at planting the bomb. So, obviously, when it's down to the wire like that and the clock, it can be a little bit hard to tell. But you could certainly tell that Avangar got a little bit rustled there. They still have an AWP on James, though. That has been the one constant, it feels like. Every round this half, he seems to have had his hands on that. And that always gives you a chance, even when you don't necessarily have a whole lot to go around it.
A lot of that would be off the back of Ghost overextending and making mistakes, however. It's always hard to create and craft chances with just an AWP and not many grenades behind it.
Yeah. I mean, Ghosts aren't threatening Avangar yet, but if they get a couple of more rounds, all of a sudden we have ourselves a game. That's when Avangar has to start thinking of some adjustments. Obviously, in this round, again, it's really just on James AWP. They have one smoke and a couple of flashes. They can maybe use that to do some type of mid-B attack. Jane could smoke off spawn. They could try to pop flash and attack into B. But he's actually looking for the shot. And he gets it. Nicely done.
At the cost of a lot of his health, though. 28. Does have Kevlar behind it. Snack on catwalk once again. Wardell laid in wait with the scout, with players, 3 of them in total without armor. They could be plucked out. Perfect flashbang, and he has missed. Considering he landed a silky smooth headshot last round, you're expecting him to do better, but they line up. It's a 2-for-1 scout. You do not see that every day. But here we have it. Ghost refusing to go down, refusing to give up, and it's good to see James get in amongst the kills. 2 UMP spray, and Kicker can only best him.
That was like reverse caster's curse, because you just made a comment about him missing and how you expect something better, and he does the 2-for-1. So he definitely lived up to it there. Nice little play.
Some smiles across the faces now of Ghost. There it is again. Perfect timing. Can only see the one head protruding over the box, but takes it clean off.
Avangar back onto a full buy, though, now. They have the AKs. They have some utility. Where they can try to start actually going for some type of spawn-based attack. You know, let Sanji go a little bit wild that long A. Let Buster take a little bit of a poke into B tunnels. These are players that are very capable of playing aggressively on the edges of the map rather than just being some type of lurk. You also could use this utility to do something a little bit more complex on an A execute or mid-B. They need to do something. They need to pick up the pace. I mean, I know they like to play slow and steady, and that's all fine and dandy, but you can't keep running out the clock. They've lost 2 rounds off the clock, basically.
I'm trying to speed things up here. Flashbang doesn't affect Fitch. His AK rounds will for steal. Damage inflicted. Back to Fitch, though. He's down to just 2.
Yeah, it's a big entry, though, from him. He's got it back into an even territory when it comes to manpower. And this forces Ghost to really have to divert their attention so many different directions at once. Wardell has constantly played this spot. Will they flash him off of it finally and not give him a chance to get a kill before dropping down? That's going to be something they really need. If Wardell can get a shot and get away, that's going to be massive. Will he re-peek? He's never re-peek. He's always dropped. They don't expect it. Nice little play from Wardell.
And there's the Molotov again. That has been his go-to. Go for the shot. If you connect, great. If not, back away. And he saw so many players edging through.
That was so well done. There was no way Avangar expected a repeat there, just because there's been like 3 or 4 times he's taken a shot and dropped. So that's the perfect time to change it up and gain something for your team. I love that.
Time again, though, Dust.
Yep.
Under 20 seconds. They haven't got onto B site yet. They haven't really cracked mid. Finally, James going to start to come round, but there's Kusa on the boxes, needs to join his teammates. 8 seconds to go. It's all on Buster. Kusa doesn't necessarily have to kill him, just whittle away enough time, and Buster realizes, okay, look, I need to save this AK. Our economy's now looking in pretty rough shape. With that saved AK-47, maybe they can pose a threat, but Ghost, they are edging their way back into this now.
It's starting to get dangerous. I don't think that Avangar have broken a sweat quite yet. They know that they're still 1 away. They know that Ghost are still several rounds from going for overtime. They have a few more full buys in them, maybe like 3 full buys left before OT is looming. But it's starting to get there. It's gone from cold to lukewarm. We'll say that.
This is a shot that Kusta really should be
and
landing.
That's the scary thing, by the way. Kusta has a second op now towards the B side. That makes things more challenging for Avangar. It's a little bit harder to get an avenue into B now with him like that.
So just the 1 AK-47. They do have some Desert Eagles, which are always going to be a nuisance, a pain in the backside. Distinct lack of nades. Kicker, the only other player that's dipped into his pocket and invested. Some armor if they can, get some weapons away from Ghost. Wardell, a different angle. This time the off angle at the back.
He's really done nice varying this up.
He also has another player alongside him to help him out. If he does drop, there's going to be 1 Molotov they're going to put through at the Desert Eagle. The pocket rocket lands the headshot onto Jane. Another round in the books, surely, for Ghost Gaming. They're starting to take a little bit of damage, though, and if Steel went down from Catwalk, things would have got dicey with the other two players making a move from B.
Yeah, Sanji just needs to wait for Fitch to get in some type of position to help him out. He is able to, with that fire, be able to safely plant because he knows that no one can push him around just yet. Fitch still has that angle closed off, but now holding the retake going to be so difficult with this much firepower available, but Sanji's onto it.
Need to push for the rest of his team. That's a free kill, a complete freebie. Kusta nearly gets his head taken off for his troubles as well. Now Sanji at the back box and Fitch to help him out. It's all gone horribly wrong for Neptune. Double spray, headshots for days. And Ghost Gaming gonna get a 10th round.
Dude, that is so rough. Fitch did the watermelon brain play. He went all the way back around the catwalk. Ghost surely thought that he was still pit. They were so dead focused on it. I thought he was gonna come up and blindside them, but then Neptune lines him up. That was massive, man. I thought they were dead to rights. I thought that was going to be GG when Fitch made that move all the way around the cat.
The thing is, even though Ghost do live, they lost 4 players there, so you can see their economy is rough. Sure, if a Avangar win, doesn't matter, but I'm talking about 2 or 3 rounds in the future. This could catch up with them.
Certainly true. One difference in this round is Kicker has been able to get to blue bin, and they have pushed Ghost Gaming off of long A pretty early, so that is a little bit of a new variable in play. James just again clearing out middle with the AWP. It feels like they want to do something faster on a split on A. You know, they have 3 already with the bomb over towards long. They have James patrolling cat. Fitch right now just kind of making sure they aren't getting flanked B. Might even throw some utility to hold those 2 players in place. But this re-aggress on long is going to be massive.
A 2-for-1 trade. They'll take that all day, every day. Bombs dropped out as well. That flashbang perfectly timed to deal with Wardell, but they don't anticipate Steel being there too. 2-on-3 in favor of Ghost Gaming. Still have the bomb at their disposal. Jane takes the bullet to the kneecaps. He's down to 39. Smoke utilized just to get that bomb and scurry away. Ends in favor of Ghost.
Yeah, that was a really nice maneuver from Ghost to re-aggress long. They've done such a great job varying their defense on A, kind of reflecting what Avangar was able to do. They are always able to be diverse. It's the same story here from Ghost. And James, though, catching Kusta, that lightens it up. But Neptune's position, no way they'd expect this.
No, he waits. He would have probably had both of them, but understandable, he takes the opportunity that he's been given. And Peace is out of there. James gonna look to save. Ghost Gaming bring us 1 step closer, 15-11.
Well, if the water was lukewarm before, now it's feeling a little bit hot. Now it's starting to get to the boil. It's not a rumbling boil just yet, but it's getting there.
Is this a time where Avangar should be using a timeout just to steady things a little bit?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so for sure. I mean, that's a tough one, too, because they did make an adjustment. They went faster towards long. They got the control. And then Ghost just re-aggressed and won the duels. Not only that, but Wardell keeps varying the angle he takes at short. So these little small micro adjustments that Ghost have made have really made it difficult in Avangar. Avangar have hurt themselves on the clock a couple of times as well. So again, maybe some other type of spawn-based play at long A could net them a better result. They're able to trade a little bit better, maybe get a couple of more flashes, actually take the fight on the corner, not let Ghost fade back and then re-aggress. James finding an op pick obviously can be massive depending on what spawn he has. I mean, the only thing they haven't really tried is something faster mid-B, but it's hard to do that now because you know Kusta has that second op in play. Or at least there's the threat of it. I'm not sure if he's going to have it or not, as I don't think a second op got saved from Ghost, but it was rebought.
So the timeout was called. Let's see if Avangar change anything up. So far looks pretty much the same. James trying his hand on long. Flashbang out. Steel's been in this very position quite a few times. Oh, that flick is disgusting. And now that puts more pressure on James and also Wardell.
You love to see that, Vince. You love to see a flick like that. Maybe not if you're a Ghost fan, then you'd hate to see it, but I'm a fan. Tough shot to hit. Yeah, James might have had some idea he might have gotten to that spot, but still, he had to worry about the corner itself. And this is one of the first times we've seen James be able to find an op pick so early into a round. What can they do with this quick 5-on-4? They're going to pressure A right away. I like this call. They're not going to give any time for Ghost to get any type of tricky positions or over-rotate. They're going to go for the jugular right here, right now, with a good little smoke on the cross.
This is all off the back of that pick. James having to watch long by himself, and no one was watching mid, which is why Wardell not in his usual position. A hail of grenades, and Fitch with an AK-47 decapitates him, and it's looking good for Avangar. The magic of the timeout once again paying off, barring a miracle retake from James, Neptune, or Kusta. They still have firepower, they still have grenades and kits.
This is such a weird maneuver from James. With an op flanking mid in the CT spawn, that's so crazy, but it could work nonetheless. They do still have a massive man advantage on this hole.
Kickert has been Molotov'd out, but it's only going to be bothering from a few seconds. Flashbang deters his vision, but it's all the way of Avangar in the end. A valiant attempt to come back from Ghost Gaming wasn't meant to be. They will go down.
Yeah, again, I think both teams throughout this map did really well on their CT sides to change things up, to take new angles, to do these re-aggressions in the mid-round. Definitely you can give both these teams a good grade on how they played their defense. Ghost struggled on just being not on the same page, being a little bit too timid, and just not being able to find anything consistent, whereas I feel like Avangar was just more of kind of playing to their own style a little bit too much, and I feel like there were opportunities to change up the pace. They did find it in the end, though, on that last round. That was definitely them trying to take things a little bit quicker. It certainly netted them a great result. Good job using their utility to stop Wardell from being able to face them with the AWP on the corner or even sit comfortably on long A ramp. So definitely, it always felt like they were going to win, right? Even though Ghosts were making the comeback, it never really felt real. Maybe if they could have gotten that round there, I would have seen it coming, but in the end, Avangar, just with the disadvantage that Ghost had coming into this game, that was kind of the result you expected. At least they made it a good game.
Yeah, which you can give them respect for with the whole James and Freakazoid situation. That's enough from us too. We're going to head back to the desk and see what they have to say about that match.
That's what you mean it wasn't real? It felt real to me. It felt real watching Potter backstage thinking her boys could get back in the game.
I can hear. I know. We all wanted it. It would have been cool to see in overtime, but there's reality.
It wasn't real, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's focus in on that second half then, because at the first half it looked like Wardell, he was trying to carry the weight of Ghost Gaming on his shoulders, and unfortunately he's not a hunter. He couldn't quite pull it out of the bag. In that second half, the renaissance of Steel. Were you surprised by his comeback after that pistol ace?
I was, but you know, Steel is actually a player that always performs quite well in those pistol rounds, and so that ace definitely kind of snowballed or propelled the Ghost in the right direction. But unfortunately, their first half started off a little way too slow for Ghost. Actually, I think their approach was probably different because they have a new fifth, and T side is much more challenging when you change up the roles on your team. And so without their fifth, I'm sure Ghost had to change up a lot of things. But on the same token, I mean, James had two deaths at the end of that first half in 15 rounds, and that's the type of player James is. He's so intelligent. He doesn't ever have to take flick shots. He doesn't have to take impossible shots and save his team. He's always in the right position at the right time, and he makes his shots look easy.
And that's really interesting to me because we talk a lot about Simple, whose crosshair placement isn't actually always that instinctive, but his flicks are on point, and James is completely the opposite to that.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to like, yeah, you might be feeling confident. It's simple. He's just an anomaly, right? It's a freak of nature. But if you watch, if I'm like teaching someone how to op, and I'm like, if you would rather learn from Simple over someone like James, I'd be like, go watch James any time of the day, right? He plays it so correctly. And yes, he can hit those flicks as well. We saw him plucking Steel's head off towards blue at long door. So yeah, I kind of felt like the scoreline, it's a little closer than it really had to be. It kind of felt like at one point Avangar was just like slowing things down, and they finally, all right guys, let's close it out. They had a very good round at the end over there. But kudos to these guys. I mean, Ghost really did put up a fight in the second half.
Well, we've got Kicker waiting for us, so maybe he can give us a little bit of insight into that match. Oh, hello, we've got Fitch. I apologize. Hi, Fitch. How are you doing? Are you good?
Hello, guys. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Fitch.
Hey, nice to see you too. Congratulations on that win. Now, after that incredible first half, do you think you were maybe underestimating Ghost going into the second?
So the first half was like easy for us. I don't know how it happened, but that feels like we're just gonna win this game easily. But the Ghost team just surprised us on the CT side, like on the second half. So like I don't know, probably if we will I don't know. So we just won.
That sounded like a yes to me,
so easy,
Fitch.
like it looked like. So.
Well, yeah, it did look easy, but quick question, right? You are the reigning DreamHack Open champion right now. You did win Rio in a very convincing fashion. And this time around, you have, let's say, a higher caliber of team, so to speak, right? You have Mouse Sports, you have G2 as well, who are playing pretty well at the moment. So for you guys, what's your goal in this tournament? Are you still going to be going for the win? Obviously, that would be the answer.
Yeah, of course. Of course, every tournament, every team wants to win, but you were right about the teams that the teams are like stronger than we had in Rio. So we'll see. Like, we are really ready and we want to win.
What would a win here mean for the team, Fitch? Because you do very well in tournaments like this, especially online. But at more international tournaments, say, for example, the Major, you sometimes can struggle against those bigger teams. But you have so much talent in your team. So what would a win here in Tour mean for you guys?
The winning? Yeah, of course, it's nice because this, like, DreamHack in Rio was like lower stuff for us, but DreamHack Tours is bigger for us because here's like Mouse Sports team playing here, and so like Valiance again here, and Vindigo team that beat us like 2 or 3 months ago. So it's more principle for us to win here. So.
And you've got French Frogs coming up next. They're standing between you and a place in the playoffs on Sunday. Of course, you can go into the lower bracket, but I imagine you do not want to do that, Fitch. Did you see French Frogs play earlier?
No, never. Probably I saw them, but they was playing for the other organization or Team Tag, but yeah, I know all these guys actually, so. Okay,
so you're not going in totally blind. We talked about confidence earlier. How are you feeling about that matchup?
Yeah, we'll see. These guys just surprised us by the winning over G2, right? So we will prepare, like, watch some demos. Probably we got some 1 hour free, and we will like watch some demos and be ready. Well, Fitch, an hour isn't a long time, so thank you so much for talking to us, and go and start watching those demos, please. Yes, thanks, guys. See you later. Well, there you go. He admitted to being a bit overconfident in that after that first half. Yeah. But I feel like Avangar, they're not going to feel down about that CT side. They're not going to take it upon their shoulders too much, Blair. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good thing is when you're losing a game, or if you lose a game, or you had a rough time, and you know what the problem was, that's great because you can fix it immediately, right? 13-2. First half score against a team who don't even have, you know, one of their players or coaches playing, you can tend to get a little carried away, a little overconfident. So as long as they're cognizant of that fact, they know that they messed up there, I think they're going to be fine. Definitely, and it's so hard to keep discipline as a player when you're winning the game so easily, not even just by the score, but the feelings that these players are getting when they're in the server and they're able to make the perfect reads. There are times when these players are so into the game that they're just fully within the rhythm of the server, and yeah, you could see here in this matchup that was definitely the case. Blair, who is a tougher opponent, do you think, Ghost or French Frogs? Oh, that's rough, right? If Ghost, I think Ghost were actually tougher. I think they actually showed what they could really do when things started going. The first half, it looked like like you mentioned, Potter, they looked a little lost and they looked a little all over the place. But the CD side was pretty decent, damn decent. So I think they might actually be able to do a little bit more damage before they go out of the tournament. And obviously, James IRL. Future star player, I think. He's just getting warmed up. Watch out for that guy tomorrow in the best of threes. But right now, we need to take a break because we've got the first of our playoff qualifier matches. It's going to be Mouse Sports versus Valiance.